Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29 back again for another indie comic review. And in this indie comic review, well, I did say I was going to come back and check the Spawn after this week's comic haul, just to check it out and see if it's actually improved from the last issue. And of course we also have Wrong Earth. So, time to get started with the first one that I'll be reviewing. So for the first one, I'll be working on King Spawn, issue 9, not 7, correction there. And as we look at the cover here, it connects to one of the characters. Yes, it is somewhat Spawn apparel, but this is connecting to something else. So does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside of the story? Sure enough it does, to which I give it a 7 out of 10. Great work by the artist. So next thing is the internal art, which we'll also get to see some of the things that are happening inside story-wise. So this is some of the art around the beginning. And as we can see here, we have the main character of Spawn, who's doing a little bit more further investigation. And we actually come across one of the characters who is actually teaching the Kingslayer. But who is the Kingslayer? We'll soon find out. To those who have seen my reviews on the previous issues, should already know who the character is. And as we jump towards the middle of the story, guess who's back? It's the character of Simon, but it seems to be here that something has actually happened to the character whilst he's been getting training. And as he's trained, he's pretty much aged up. Is that good or bad for the character? It's hard to tell. I do think it was a little bit fast, but they could have dragged this out a little bit longer. And last but not least, Spawn encountering, I think it's the Gaia tree, and some of the others who are looking for either his downfall or his rise. So for the internal art, I gave a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to jump into the story rating, which consists of 4 separate areas to which I rate it on, or play a part in, that play a part in how I rate it. So first things first, did we get any comic references? Sure enough we did, and we got a reference to Spawn issue 75, so quite a long haul there. So definitely something for me to check out by myself. I might have to do it in the trades in order to catch up with the series. I think the last trade I caught up with was either Volume 2 or Volume 3, so I'm going to have to catch up with that series. Next area is the area of time. Did we get any indication of when this is taking place time-wise? No, we didn't. The next area that I like to check out is location. Did we get any indication to where all of this was taking place with Spawn in this King Spawn run? No, we didn't. It would have been really nice to know where it was actually happening. The cast of characters, of course, we know consisting of Spawn, but we also had Black Azrael, Spawn, we had, I think it's Urok, we had Medieval Spawn, Azrael, and last but not least, Simon. And of course, we did have some other characters appear in the story, but I was unable to recognize some of them, and some I did know, such as the clown. For the overall story rating, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Now it's time to move on to Wrong Earth. So, jumping into Wrong Earth, let's get to first things first. Does this cover in any way, shape or form connect to something that's happening inside of the story? Sure enough, it does, to which I actually gave it a 7.5 out of 10. And do take note, it is being done by Mark Russell along with a couple of others. And now it's time to move into the internal arts, which we'll have a look around at in relation to both the art and the story, around the beginning, middle and end. And I'll give the story rating after I've covered the art rating. So first things first, this is some of the art around the beginning of the story, and we get to see the comparisons of what is happening within each world, Earth Alpha and Omega. And of course we are in Oregon Fortune City, and we're working on getting up a Fame financial field. And as things are looking here, we've got the main character here, and we get to see the character in sort of like both multiverses, or like the main universe and the multiverse of what's happening there, and how they're so much different. Jumping towards the middle of the story, again we get to see how things are switched up and different in each world. But of course, different things occur in the building of this particular stadium. Where with one thing, in one world, things turn up alright, and another thing, and some things towards the end of the story. And I forgot to note that there is also a bonus story in the end of this. And this is a story called the Buddy System. So for the internal art, I gave it a 7 out of 10. Now it's time to move to the story. First things first, did we get any references to sort of like any of the other Wrong Earth related stuff? No, we didn't. Though it would have been nice, even if it was like connected to one of the main series first volumes. I think that would have been good. Next area is time, to which we had next day show up. The locations, we of course had Earth Alpha and Omega, we had Fortune City and the Fame financial field. Last but not least, we also had the cast of characters consisting of Cook, Bessie, Dragonfly and Flyman, and we also had Stinger show up, and a number of other extra characters to which I did not know at all in the series. But overall, I gave this story a 7 out of 10. So until then, let's keep it colourful and have yourself an awesome day.